Right now, 3 departments simultaneously releasing documents, video, and audio related to the Jamie Kloss case. What we have learned so far, straight ahead.
And as we near the end of the year, we hear from the Wisconsin Senate Majority Leader his plans for 2020.
Plus, at a rally today, what former and current Middleton students are demanding from the district.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
First tonight, a developing story. The Department of Justice, Douglas County, and Barron County Sheriff's Departments have just released documents, video, and audio from the Jamie Kloss case in northwestern Wisconsin.
This document drop came in around 4 o'clock this afternoon, so we are still digging through it as we speak. Amanda Quintana joins us now with what we have learned so far.
Yes, these documents can have hours of dash cam video, hours of body cam audio, and hundreds of pages of documents, many of which are redacted. This is the case from Barron, Wisconsin, where 13-year-old Jamie Kloss was kidnapped from her home following the murder of both of her parents. They released dash camera video showing officers responding to the home where she was found 88 days later, 70 miles north in Gordon, Wisconsin. Barron County released the initial 911 call made by Jamie's mother moments before her death. We have chosen not to air that. The sheriff's office didn't provide video, but they did provide audio. And in that audio, once Jake Patterson is pulled over after about a minute of sitting in the squad car, police tell him that he is arrested.
You're no longer detained. You're under arrest now, okay?
For what?
Oh, they'll tell you when you get up to the office.
I think 904 was monitoring traffic. I'm not sure if he's en route.
Someone gonna turn off my car?
Yeah,
do something with it.
The other officer will take care of it for you.
We will continue to dig through these documents to bring you any new information they reveal. The man behind the case, Jake Patterson, has since pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and kidnapping. He has been sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences.
Amanda Quintana reporting tonight. Amanda, thank you.
Next at 6, it is a record-setting weekend for a local golf course. Today, Odana Hills says it'll be open through Monday, making it the latest opening for any Madison golf course ever in the calendar year. The previous latest opening was December 12th. The course says there will be no reserved tee times this weekend. No carts will be allowed on the grass. And those high temperatures are expected to be in the mid-40s all weekend long.
So if you haven't put the lights up yet, or you need a chance to wash your car,
Getting pretty late for that, huh?
This weekend will be it. Let's check your first alert forecast with meteorologist Dave Caulfield.
Temperatures this weekend, especially as we get to Sunday, Charlotte and Eric, will be close to 20 degrees above normal for this time of year. Right now, we're in the upper 30s and low 40s across southern Wisconsin. Janesville at 37. 35 in the Dells. Wind chills are really not a major issue. It does feel like the 20s in some spots north of Madison, but still pretty typical of this time of year, feeling like 30 in Madison. As we take a look at the Edgewater Skycam and the capital there, mostly cloudy skies. Could be some patchy fog overnight, otherwise staying dry and relatively mild with temperatures in the upper 20s to start off our Saturday. Should be back in the 40s once again tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. I think those highs will be in the lower to middle 40s. We'll talk about temperatures close to 50 degrees as we head into the start of next week in your forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thanks. This weekend's weather also fueling high turnout for last-minute shopping. Holiday sales are expected to exceed over $700 billion this year. It's about a 4% increase over 2018.
Gabriella Becerra spoke with local small business owners today and has an update on how the season has been so far.
Stores are feeling the rush of last-minute shoppers, and small businesses are no exception. Today, I took a trip down Monroe Street where stores are seeing a lot of sales.
All right, so your total is going to be $183.52.
Shoppers like Bert are spending the next few days before Christmas.
Do you like a gift box?
Finding the perfect presents for loved ones.
My dad and my wife and my mother-in-law.
And he says this year,
and we'll black out the price for you.
It's been a priority to shop local.
Partly it's to support local businesses, partly just because we love the city. It's environmental too, so we're not having things shipped all over the place.
Despite a shorter shopping season, small businesses on Monroe Street are feeling community support.
The last 10 days has been really vibrant. People are out and shopping.
Pam Schwartzbach says holiday shopping stayed strong since Black Friday, but not as energetic as last year.
It could be the weather, that it really hasn't snowed and felt all that holiday-like. And again, last year I think there was a really big drive by the community to get out and be on Monroe Street and supporting it after the year of road closures.
Across the street at Mystery to Me,
come on in. You can go look at the children's section.
Joanne Berg says holiday shopping started at her bookstore even before Thanksgiving.
I think that Madison is really good at knowing about the shop local, how important that is. And so we've just really been lucky. The neighborhood is wonderful to us.
So there might be a couple of items on Santa's list.
There you go.
That can be bought locally this year.
That support can be seen financially when you shop locally. About 68 cents of every dollar you spend will stay in the local economy compared to larger chains.
Gabby, thank you. Governor Evers says he's actively looking for applicants for the Wisconsin Adjutant General to lead the National Guard. The appointment will fill the vacancy to be created by the resignation of Major General Donald Dunbar. That's effective December 31st. The appointment will be for 5 years. To be eligible, an applicant must hold the federally recognized minimum rank of full colonel. For a full list of other qualifications and how to apply, we have information at channel3000.com. Brendan Dassey will not be pardoned by the state. Governor Evers' pardon board has officially denied that request, saying Dassey is ineligible. Dassey and his uncle Stephen Avery were convicted in the killing of Teresa Halbach in Manitowoc County back in 2005 when Dassey was 16 years old. He confessed to helping his uncle commit the crime. According to a release from the governor's office, the board requires 5 years to have passed after the completion of the sentence in order to consider a pardon. Dassey is currently serving a life sentence.
Dassey's team of lawyers issued a statement in response saying Governor Evers is not bound by the rules of the Pardon Advisory Board and has the power to issue commutations when courts fail to deliver justice. They say they're not giving up hope and plan to work with the governor to develop a process to review commutation petitions. The family of 2 Wisconsin men who disappeared during a trip to Missouri for their livestock business have filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed last month in Missouri against Garland Nelson, who is jailed without bond on 2 counts of first-degree murder and other charges in the deaths of Justin and Nicholas Diemel. The brothers were killed when they went to Missouri, prompting a missing persons search.
The man who attacked a UW-Madison grad student downtown last year will spend 20 years in prison. Dorian Wade pleaded guilty to the brutal sexual assault of a stranger near East Johnson and North Blair Streets. Wade's attorney had asked for 4 years in prison. Prosecutors asked for 18, but because the judge felt Wade had lied in a letter prior to sentencing and didn't seem to admit his guilt, Wade got 20 years in prison plus 10 years extended supervision. Milwaukee County investigators are trying to find out who's responsible for stealing vases from grave sites. Sometime between late September and early October, officials at Washington County Memorial Park in West Bend realized about 50 bronze vases were stolen, valued at more than $20,000. Less than a month later, Pine Lawn Cemetery in Wauwatosa discovered it was also missing vases. There, more than 230 were gone, totaling more than $100,000 in value. Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald said there is not a bill for medical marijuana that he will support.
In 2020, he hopes to focus on decreasing property taxes. Amy Reed explains what head legislators are planning for the state next year.
Well, this year was really the one where we saw how they would function with a new governor and a divided government. That resulted in some sparring and a cabinet secretary getting voted down for the first time in 30 years. We also saw the state government pass a budget on time, they will add. As for next year, there was a lot of excitement in the last few weeks that Wisconsin would join our neighbors in legalizing medical marijuana, but Fitzgerald said he won't get behind it.
So we've got all these issues. We're spending all this not only revenue, but just energy trying to get a control on these substances that are just wreaking havoc across the state. I don't know why this is a good time to introduce legal marijuana in Wisconsin.
He's hoping to take on property taxes, though. He said he's heard a lot of people in his district concerned about those rising. He said everything's on the table as far as trying to get a bill that could prevent that from continuing. We also talked with Fitzgerald about funding to prevent homelessness and the future of the Republican Party in Wisconsin. So for that, head to our website, channel3000.com.
Dairy farmers in Wisconsin are celebrating the passage of the new North American trade deal as they wait for the Senate to approve the agreement early next year. But a local expert tells us dairy farmers should expect more from trade deals to come. He said the details on manufacturing in this deal will likely have a larger impact. While he said the USMCA was important for American farmers, it likely won't bring money back to dairies, though it does put us back on terms we'd like with Mexico and Canada.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding with dairy producers that You know, it sounds like getting this settled will just take us to places we've never been before, but that's not true. What it really does primarily for dairy is to get us back to where we were before.
He's hopeful that this shows the U.S. government can get these trade deals negotiated, which he said is needed for getting an agreement with China. Many dairy farmers rely on that deal to make money from whey, a byproduct of cheese production. China is the world's largest buyer of whey, and the U.S. is the largest provider. Still ahead tonight at 6, what former and current Middleton students are demanding from the school district.
And months after cutting ties, the Henry Vilas Zoological Society announces a major investment in the zoo to provide long-term financial support. That story coming up next.
For a clear, easy-to-understand forecast, watch First Alert Weather.
Welcome back. Current and former students in Middleton are demanding the school district improve its response to sexual harassment and assault claims. At a walkout this morning, speakers condemned the notion that boys will be boys, listing out a number of Title IX guidelines they feel the district is not following. Those include making sure no student has to share campus space with their abuser and implementing age-appropriate education on consent and sexual violence in schools.
It should never be the victim's job to have to come forward about still seeing their abuser's face in the hall every day, even after administration promised to resolve the issue.
The protest was postponed after a threat on Instagram, which forced administrators to cancel school last week. Speakers today say they also found pamphlets advertising the walkout torn up and thrown on the ground. A spokesperson for the district says this was a student-led walkout, so the district has no response to anything that was specifically said at the event. They say the district will continue to meet with student leaders.
The Henry Vilas Park Zoological Society says it will be delivering around $8 million to the Madison Community Foundation to help provide long-term financial support of the Henry Vilas Zoo. According to a release, this money transfer, which was first proposed by the society in early November, was unanimously approved today by the society's board of directors. The society's formal relationship with the Henry Vilas Zoo came to an end at the end of March after its contract with the zoo expired and was not renewed. Over the last couple months, questions were raised about how cash donations at the zoo were handled and reported. In the last month, the Sheriff's Department has been conducting an investigation. The society says that review, which is expected to be completed soon, had no bearing on today's announcement. Babies in the NICU at SSM St. Mary's Hospital who are not able to go home for the holidays are still getting in the spirit with their own take on how the Grinch stole Christmas. They're dressed up up in Whoville costumes today, made by Stoughton dance team members. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway played along in the role of the mayor of Whoville and delivered gifts to families whose babies are fighting to get healthy.
And still ahead tonight in sports, a preview of this weekend's national championship volleyball matchup between the Badgers and the Stanford Cardinal.
But first, a mild weekend on the way, highs in the mid-40s. Dave Caulfield will have your full forecast coming up next.
Doesn't really feel like this time of the year. Dave Caulfield joining us now. There's more of that to come.
Yeah, a really long stretch of 40s on the way for highs. In fact, some of us close to 50 by the time we get to Sunday, and we should be in the upper 20s this time of year for highs, and we should be getting these nice sunsets, which we are. Thank you so much, Ann, for sending in this shot from Ferryville, Wisconsin, right along the Mississippi River. Love the colors there and those clouds making for a really nice sunset. But we are mild right now and getting milder as we take a look at our 3 things to know. Pretty quiet as far as precipitation goes through Christmas Eve. I really don't see much in the way of precipitation chances coming over the next few days. And then a slightly more wintry pattern does return to end the month of December and end 2019. I just don't really think that there are many chances for another measurable snow before we close the book on this year. More including that, I should say, coming up in just a few minutes. High temperatures today, upper 30s in the Dells, but many of us reaching the 40s across southern Wisconsin, and that trend is going to continue for tomorrow into Sunday, Monday, and for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Live look in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. Today's high of 41, about 10 to 15 degrees above normal for this time of year. Our low temperature this morning was above normal as well. High temperatures will stay in the 15 to 20 degree above normal range for the foreseeable future. Christmas Day on Wednesday, I think that high will be in the low 40s. And even when we dip back into the 30s after Christmas, it is a slightly more wintry. But look at this, folks. We're still about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. And if you remember on Halloween, it was quite a memorable one with all that snow that we received. Our high temperature on Halloween this year was 32 degrees. So we're going to be 10 degrees warmer on Christmas Day than we were on Halloween, when typically we would see those temperatures quite a bit warmer. This phenomenon of being warmer on Christmas Day compared to Halloween has happened 7 times in Madison recorded history. I think we make it 8 as we head into Wednesday. Future Track is showing the 30s for tonight, dipping into the 20s briefly tomorrow. I think more 40s are on the way for Saturday and Sunday. I think Sunday will be the warmest day of the bunch, with that southerly wind helping those temperatures get into the mid to upper 40s for Sunday and Monday. And keep in mind, folks, when we talk about these temperatures, winter begins tomorrow night at about 10:20 in the evening time, and after that we should be in the upper 20s, but we're talking upper 40s Sunday and Monday. Still in the 40s Tuesday for Christmas Eve and Wednesday, Christmas Day. A few rain showers can't be ruled out later on Christmas Day, and then into early Thursday morning. A few snowflakes may try and mix in as well. Not expecting major impacts there. Friday and Saturday in the mid 30s with some clouds around. We could be talking about some more rain and snow showers by next Sunday.
Well, another big challenge ahead for the Badgers volleyball team, but they say that's when they play their best. More from the team. That's next in sports.
I'm Amanda Quintana. Tonight on the News at 9, new developments in the case of a missing Texas mother and her infant daughter. What police think may have happened. Tonight on Fox 47.
Well, the Badgers volleyball team will aim to make history tomorrow by winning the program's first ever national championship title. But not going to be easy because their opponent, they've been there before a lot. Stanford is the number 3 seed. They swept Minnesota yesterday, and the Cardinal have won 8 national titles, most recently in 2016 and 2018. So it's definitely going to be a challenge, but nothing this Badger squad isn't ready for.
We play really well when we're having fun and when we're being competitive. So I just think the special mixture of those two is what is making us really unique and special right now, and I think we can just continue that dominance.
I think just remembering that, yes, we're playing for a national championship, but not making the situation bigger than it is. It's volleyball. And if we just stick to the basics, you know, everything will fall into place. So just remembering that we're playing volleyball is huge, and we're pretty good at that. So I think that's a good mentality going into tomorrow.
So tomorrow it is. You heard Emmy Dodge just say that they're 7 p.m. in Pittsburgh. You can watch the game on ESPN2. We'll also have highlights tomorrow on News 3 Now at 10. Well, Badger quarterback Jack Cohn on the come-up since he was thrown into the starting role last year at Northwestern. And since then, his teammates have even noticed how much he's improved.
We made a bet when we were freshmen that if he ever scrambled from 20 yards out and scored, I'd owe him $100. And after last year, I thought I was clear. There's no way. And then this year, obviously, I probably owe him a couple $100 after the season.
So let's take a look at last season. Granted, Cohn only played in 5 games, carried the ball 20 times. He did score 1 touchdown in the Pinstripe Bowl, despite not having any positive net yardage. But this year, he's definitely carried the ball a lot more, 54 times to be exact, so more than double last year, netting 14 yards, scoring 4 touchdowns. So basically, even though they weren't from 20 yards out or so, that will be $400, Jake. By now, you've known that Aaron Rodgers and David Bakhtiari will represent the Packers in this year's Pro Bowl, but today Bakhtiari vocal about the fact that Zadarius Smith should be there too. He said he's been there before, knows how it feels to be overlooked, but felt like he had to say something to stand up for his teammate.
Makes me unsettled because the best player on our team didn't even make the Pro Bowl this year. I think Zadarius was our best player on this football team, and I would feel like, for me personally, it's unjust if I wouldn't say that. So we haven't had any talks about it, but the guys went about everything the right way. He came in and he's been an unbelievable football player.
So pretty nice of Bakhtiari to say that, you know, standing up for your teammate. You got to stand up for your guy.
He's got to deal with him in practice all the time, too.
So he knows firsthand how tough he is.
He knows how good he is.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, final check.
I think Melissa should be in the Pro Bowl. I'm going to say it right now.
She's going to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Get your helmet ready.
This is a Pro Bowl forecast right now if you're a fan of this warm weather, because we are talking about temperatures 20 degrees above normal over the next couple of days. Tonight we're in the upper 20s, could have some patchy fog toward morning, but really staying pretty quiet, mild and dry over the next 4 or 5 days or so, even into the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day time frame. Those temperatures still in the 40s. Could have a few raindrops later on Christmas Day into early Thursday morning as those temperatures head back into the 30s, but overall, pretty quiet end, at least right now, to 2019.
Dave, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.